Your crochet home decor has been sitting in the corner of the room this whole time, and nobody said a word about it. Here's why. Some crochet pieces stop guests dead in their tracks, and others just blend into the background. There's a real difference between crochet that looks like a hobby project and crochet that looks like it belongs in a home magazine. And the gap between those two things is not talent. It's not even the yarn you're using. It comes down to a few specific choices that most people never think about. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what those choices are, and you're going to see real decoration ideas that will genuinely make people walk into your home and ask, "Wait, did you make that yourself?" Let's start with the problem most crochet lovers run into. You finish a piece, you put it on the shelf or the table or the wall, and it looks fine. It matches your colors. It took you hours to make, and you're proud of it. But guests walk past it. They don't notice it. And that stings a little, right? Because you put real time and love into that. The reason this happens is actually very simple. Most people place their crochet pieces the same way they'd place any store-bought decoration. They just put it somewhere and leave it. But crochet is different from a glass vase or a ceramic bowl. It has texture, it has dimension, it has personality. And if you don't use that to your advantage, the piece just disappears into the room. The other big issue is that a lot of beginners and even intermediate crocheters tend to play it safe with patterns and colors. Safe is boring. Safe doesn't get noticed. And I'm not saying you need to make something wild and complicated, but I am saying that the crochet pieces that stop people in their tracks almost always have at least one bold choice in them, whether that's an unexpected texture, a standout color, or a shape that makes people tilt their head and go, "Huh, that's interesting." So let's talk about the actual pieces, the ones that work, the ones that guests notice and remember. The first one is a chunky wall hanging. And I know, wall hangings have been around forever, but there's a reason for that. A well-made wall hanging on a blank wall does something that almost no other decoration can do. It fills negative space without making the room feel crowded. It adds warmth without adding weight. And when it's done with thick, textured yarn and a strong geometric or organic pattern, it becomes the first thing your eye goes to when you walk into the room. The key here is size. Most people make their wall hangings too small. A wall hanging that's the size of a notebook isn't going to stop anyone. You want something that takes up real space. Think at least 2 to 3 feet wide, maybe more depending on your wall. And you want the fringe or the tassels at the bottom to be long enough to create movement. When there's a light breeze or someone walks by and the piece moves just slightly, people notice that. It catches your eye in the same way a candle flame does. For color, think about your wall color first. If your wall is white or off-white, you can go bold with the yarn: terracotta, deep olive, dusty rose. If your walls are already colorful, stick to natural tones like oatmeal, cream, or sand. The contrast is what makes it pop. The second piece that always gets attention is a crochet table runner. Now, a lot of people skip this one because they think it's old-fashioned, and it can be if you make it wrong, but a modern crochet table runner done in an open lace stitch with clean lines is something completely different. It looks deliberate, it looks expensive, and it makes a plain dining table or a console table in the hallway look instantly more put together. What makes this one work is the negative space in the pattern. Open stitches, the ones that leave little holes or gaps in the fabric, let you see the table underneath. That contrast between the yarn and the surface it's sitting on is what creates that elegant look. A solid, tightly stitched runner can look heavy and old. An open stitch runner looks light, modern, and intentional. Use a yarn with a slight sheen if you want it to feel upscale. Cotton yarn with a slight twist to it catches the light in a way that looks really beautiful on a table, especially in the evening when your lights are on. The third piece is one that almost nobody thinks of, and it might be the most impressive of all. It's a crochet lampshade cover. Not a full lampshade, just a cover that goes over an existing one. You can make it in a few hours depending on the size, and the effect it creates when the lamp is on is genuinely stunning. When light passes through a crocheted cover, it throws patterns on the walls and ceiling, little shadows and shapes from the stitches. Guests notice this immediately. It creates atmosphere in a way that's really hard to put in words until you see it. And the best part is, it looks incredibly complex and difficult, but it's actually one of the more straightforward projects once you know the basic structure. For lampshade covers, you want to use a thin to medium weight cotton yarn. Avoid anything too thick because it will block too much light. The goal is to let the light come through while still holding the pattern you've created. A simple mesh stitch or a shell stitch works beautifully for this. You can add small beads to the bottom edge for a bit of extra detail that really catches the light. The fourth decoration idea is plant hangers, but not the ones from the 70s. I know macrame-style plant hangers have had a big comeback, and they're great, but I'm talking about something slightly different, a crocheted plant pot cover. This is where you make a container that a small to medium plant pot sits inside of, so the plastic or plain terracotta pot is hidden. These work so well because plants are already a focal point in most rooms. People's eyes go to plants naturally. So when the pot the plant is sitting in is also beautiful, the whole thing becomes a real statement piece. And the texture of the crochet against the green of the plant creates a contrast that feels very natural and earthy and warm. For this one, cotton yarn is again your best choice because it's sturdy and holds its shape. You want the cover to be stiff enough to stand on its own when the pot is inside it. A thicker cotton or a cotton linen blend works great for this kind of project. And stitch patterns with good structure, like the waffle stitch or a simple basket weave, look really impressive for this kind of project. And they're not as hard as they look. Now, all of these pieces on their own are great, but I want to talk about something that takes any crochet decoration from good to genuinely memorable, and that's placement and grouping. Designers call it vignette styling. Instead of placing one decoration on its own, you group a few things together in a way that tells a visual story. So instead of just your crochet table runner on a console table, you add a small plant in a crocheted pot cover on top of it with a simple candle on the side. Now you have a full moment. You have texture, height, warmth, and intention all in one spot. When guests walk in and see something like that, they don't just notice the crochet. They notice that you have an eye for how things go together. And that's what makes people ask questions. That's what starts conversations. That's when someone says, "Did you make all of this yourself?" with actual surprise in their voice. The other thing worth mentioning is finishing. The difference between a crochet piece that looks handmade in a good way and one that looks unfinished comes down to how you treat the edges, weave in your ends, and in some cases, whether you block your work. Blocking is basically the process of wetting your finished piece and shaping it while it dries so that it lays flat and even. For decorations especially, blocking can completely transform a piece. It opens up the stitches, evens out any tension differences, and makes everything look cleaner and more intentional. It takes a little extra time, but guests will never know why your pieces look so much better than what they've seen before. They'll just know that they do. One last thing before I wrap up. Don't underestimate color combinations. A lot of crochet home decor stays in neutrals, and neutrals are beautiful, they really are. But one piece with a strong, well-chosen accent color can anchor an entire room. Deep burgundy, forest green, burnt orange. These colors feel rich and intentional. They feel chosen. And when you have one piece in a room that has that kind of presence, people remember it. So to bring it all together, chunky wall hangings with real size and movement, open stitch table runners that let the surface breathe, lampshade covers that turn light into art, and plant pot covers that make your greenery look like it was